Hi everyone, welcome back to Butschern. Wrapping it up for the week. I am advancing time because guess what I did during our last recording schedule? I forgot to turn time on. So here's what I usually do is I usually stop the time with the easy dev controls. I'll go in and stop time when I'm done recording. So that way I can walk around, look at what we're going to do next, blah, blah, blah. Anything that I do off camera, off recording, I just have time stopped. Well, I forgot to turn it back on last time. So we're not going to make that mistake again. So let's set time again. You can see we're on 1, playing in real time. And I advanced it about 45 minutes because that's about how long the episode was last time. So I think we're even Steven now on time. So now we're about 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And here's our bales. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to like I would like to be able to test the bales to see how compacted they are. Like you always see farmers going up to going up to the bale. They kind of punch it and move it to see how tight the bale is wound up. That'd be kind of cool. But you know what? So depending on how tall our farmer is, we'll say he's, I don't know, is he 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot? Hard to say. But you figure if he's 5'10", those bales are probably a good, what, 5'5" I suppose, in diameter. What is 180? How many inches is 180 centimeters? Oh boy. Let's move on. So let's get back to baling. I was looking around and I'm thinking, um, we need the baler on field 1. And I think I'm probably going to hire out for baling on field 1. But we got to get this baling done, and a hired helper isn't going to help us. So we are going to have to bite the bullet and just do the baling ourselves. And to be quite honest with you, I actually enjoy baling. I don't mind it. So question's going to be, can I talk and bale at the same time? So I have been playing some kind of old school games, I guess you could say, like some games that are from many years ago. And my kids get me into these sometimes, and they'll pick up an old game, like an old Doom game. And in fact, I just bought Doom 64, the Nintendo 64 version for my oldest, and I kind of want it now that I'm looking at it. I might pick it up for myself. But I am playing Plants vs. Zombies. I love that game. I remember when that game first came out, I played that game religiously. Just absolutely loved that game. So many hours into that game. And I had the music in my brain. I had, is his name? Dave, the homeowner or whatever. That dude, loved it. I loved that game. The zombies were hilarious. That game was so addicting. Um, they must have made a killing on that game. I can only imagine they must have absolutely made a killing on that game. But that game is an absolute blast, and you can pick it up now on Steam for like literally, I think it was $2. Um, I bought a copy for my oldest kid, and it was like $2. And I'll tell you, so I had a friend. Now I don't know how if any of you do this. Let me throw this by you. So I had a buddy at work, and he would go by $1 an hour on the games. So if a game was $10, if he played 10 hours, he felt like he got his money's worth out of it. How do you all feel about that? Do you feel like $1 an hour is reasonable? Is a good, a good dollar amount to have? Is it reasonable to even think that way and, play, you know, have a certain dollar amount to each hour of entertainment. Like $1 an hour to me that's pretty cheap, right? I mean, that's like, let's lift up our pickup so we can move a little faster here. Get around because it is ready to dump on us. There we go. I guess I don't mind thinking $1 an hour, you know. Um, let's say if a game's, you know, an average, well, nowadays though, I guess an average, you know, big title game is what could be 60 or 70 bucks. Um, there's some games out there, sadly, that you can't even, you know, you don't even get that much playthrough time on them. Like, I'm hearing people on some games that cost 50 bucks and they're saying, yeah, it only took me, you know, there's only like 12 hours of gameplay, you know, to get all the way through the campaign or something. And I'm thinking, man, that doesn't sound that great, you know. A lot of times though, you have online play and stuff too that you have to account for. But Farming Simulator, that's an easy one. You know, I can get, I'll easily get. In fact, I'll have to do the calculations on that sometime to see how much I paid per hour on like FS15 and on 17. I don't know how many hours I had into the 360, but Steam keeps track of playtime. So I'll have to look and see and calculate that out. But yeah, it has to be pennies at best, you know. But yeah, it's easy to get my money's, I feel like easy to get money's worth out of Farm Sim, games you love. And, you know, and you look at, you know, like I was saying with Plants vs. Zombies, $2 for the game. Yeah, I can definitely play Plants vs. Zombies for, you know, for 2 hours. Oh, I knew it as soon as I hit that button. But I disconnected my little buddy here. There we go. Sorry about that. Make sure I pick up. Yeah, we're doing good. But I know I can get 2 hours out of Plants vs. Zombies. I know I already have hundreds of hours in that stupid game. I'm trying to remember, because I started over now, you know, so I'm still kind of doing the whole, the zombies are coming, and you know, they lay down the grass like it's carpet. They roll out the grass, and I'm kind of early on in the game still, where it's kind of going through the tutorials, and I'm still getting some of the stuff available to me. The pea shooters, I think they are, and then you get the shooters that do the frozen peas. Oh man! If you have not played Plants vs. Zombies, honestly, for $2, oh, that's such an easy game to pick up and just play here and there, and it is so addicting and so much fun. I can't recommend it enough. And I don't know, are there? I mean, I don't know. I don't even know when the release date was on it. Now that I think about it, I don't even know how old the game is. It's many years old now, though. And you can tell too, because when you launch it, it's not widescreen. You know, it's got the old letterbox or whatever they call it. You know, the old 15-inch LCD monitors that used to cost $300, $400 for a 13, 14-inch. I don't even want to talk about. Oh boy. Yeah, we'll have to talk about my my first PC equipment that I had and how much money things cost for how little performance, comparatively speaking, to today. It's amazing what you get today, and I'm looking to upgrade my graphics driver or my graphics card, and they have been, you know, so sparse just to even find a card, and then to pay so much over MSRP. I just was like, no, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. And I'm running a NVIDIA GTX 1070, a gigabyte board, and it's still holding up. I mean, it still does. It still keeps me gaming on anything I'd want to play and anything I play. There's not a game out there that you can't play, but it's starting to show its age a little bit. You know, there's no ray tracing, for one. Um, it used to be I could set things to ultra and just, forget about it. But some of these newer games that are coming out, I'm starting to have to tweak the settings a little bit more than I used to have to. Even Farming Simulator, um, if I let the NVIDIA, what's it called, the NVIDIA, whatever that tool is that does shadow play, because I use shadow play to record my videos, but it'll auto um, set the settings for game settings for you. When you go into it. NVIDIA control panel. It's not the control panel. NVIDIA Experience, I think maybe, or something. And it auto sets Farming Simulator. It maxes it out. It sets the settings to max across the board. In fact, I don't think there's anything that is bumped down on FS22. And it does do okay for the most part on standard maps. And by standard, I mean, regular size maps. It even generally does okay on 4X maps. It all depends on how many trees there are. Seems to be one of the bigger factors. I have, what is Middleburg, New York? That map. That kills my card. Absolutely destroys my card. And I have to bump my settings down more than I would like to get 60 and keep 60 going pretty constant. And I think most of it is because of the trees, the amount of trees. I mean, I turn down, load distances and all kinds of things. And I can get there, and it looks okay, but you can definitely tell on some maps that are super highly detailed with a large amount of trees and a large amount of items that need to be loaded in the distance, I think, is a part of it too. My card is starting to, it's starting to stretch a tad. All right. So I've been looking at cards and been kind of considering. I want to get a an RTX 3080 is what I'm hoping to get, and they're starting to become available, and prices are starting to come back down to where they're actually back down to suggested MSRP and actual retail pricing. So that's good to see. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, because I think for the most part that's the bottleneck for sure on my computer, at least right now, is certainly the graphics card. I'm running a pretty hefty AMD system. Pretty much, NVMe RAID for my gaming drive. A little overkill there, but you know what? Why not? And but the graphics card now is becoming the bottleneck. And I think we'll get there. I think we'll get there one of these days. So I am going to go ahead and wrap up this episode here, because we are at a point where it's going to be a little bit shorter this time, but our last episode was a little longer, so that's all good. So we are at a point here where we are going to continue and finish baling on here, but we're probably going to hire out for this using our course play course that we saved from our harvesting. And then we can go back and start plowing field 6 that we just baled. So we'll go back and we'll plow 6 since it's baled up, get this baled up, get this plowed. This is plowed. I don't think our seeder is, boy, I don't even know what seeder. I know we've got a small one, like a little a 3 meter jobber. Yeah, this little guy. And it's not a direct drill either, so we are going to have to cultivate, put down a seed bed before we can use this Amazon. So we'll have to get that taken care of as well. And of course, I am looking forward to getting into doing some mowing. And this is a decent set of mowers. I kind of prefer the mowers that leave a, that you can have it leave a windrow, a nice swath, but that's all right. We're early on. We'll take the equipment we'll use the equipment we've been given. Well, again, I appreciate y'all coming back for another round of Butschern, putting up with me. And I'm really enjoying this map. I hope you are too. I think it's a nice map. It's a relaxing map. I don't feel, like, we're managing multiple hired workers and stuff, and it's just nice to be able to sit back and do some field work ourselves and that kind of thing. So, thanks again for joining me. Y'all make sure to take care of yourselves. God bless, and I will see you next time, and it'll be soon. Back here on Butchern.